Okay, good morning students. Today we will discuss about the third unit. Actually in last class we discussed about this third unit. We started the third unit, that is functions and files. So in this total third unit we will discuss about the functions and about the files available in Matlab. So first in third unit, first we will discuss about the functions, right? So generally, there are mainly two types of functions. One is inbuilt functions, already that is predefined functions, and another type is user-defined functions. We already discussed in last class in college about predefined or built-in functions. Okay. So, as you know, the built-in functions are user-defined function. That means predefined functions, right? So, for example, sqrt, right, log, right, exp, or absolute, abs, or imaginary, image, or real, right? And we already discussed about some functions like seal and fix and floor and signum, right? So these are some examples for built-in functions or predefined functions. So these are already defined in Matlab software. So this is already we can use in Matlab programming in our projects regarding the image processing or regarding the Matlab programs. Okay, so this is about the inbuilt function. This is already fixed. There are already defined functions. These are all already defined functions in Matlab. We have to use it, that's all. We cannot change these type of functions, as you know, right? Whatever functions are there in that Matlab, that functions we have to use, right? We cannot change, we cannot modify, and just we cannot do anything with that function. Just we have to use simply. That is about the built-in functions or predefined functions. As already we discussed about all these functions, I already uploaded notes for this user built-in functions in CMS portal. Please refer it, right? So now we will discuss about the next type. What is the next type? User-defined functions. So till now we discussed about the predefined or built-in functions. So in built-in functions, what we discussed, whatever functions are defined, we have to use. That's all. We cannot modify or we cannot edit that functions. But in some programs but in some projects, I want to some new function, right? That function is not available in Matlab software. Then what is the solution? Then what I will do? You understand? In some project or in some project, in some situation or in some line, I want to define, I want some function, but that function is not predefined, but that function is not built in the Matlab software. Then what I will do, but I want that function, right? So in that situation, the solution is user defined functions. So Matlab provide us, we can define, that means user can define the its own function, right? User can define its own function, and then user can use that function in his project. Okay, so that is the main feature of Matlab, right? So user can define the functions as his own, as his wish. Whatever the function he required, whatever the function he wants, he can define his function, and he can use that function where he wants. For example, 1000, that means for example, my project, I am doing one project. My project contains total 1000 lines. That is also, my project contains total 1000 lines. For every 10th line, for example, 10th, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, okay, and so on, right? For every 10th line, I want one function like, for example, z is equal to x plus 2 into y, a simple function. So this is a function, right? So that means you can write, generally in mathematics, z is a function of x comma y, right? This is a function. Okay, so this is a function. So in my project, which contains 1000 lines, for every 10th line I want this function. But the problem is, in Matlab this function is not available. This is not a predefined function, this is not a built-in function. But I want this function, this z function, this z is equal to f of x comma y. I want for every 10th line in my project which contains 1000 lines. Then what I will do? But the problem is, the predefined, in Matlab this function is not predefined, this is not a built-in function. Then what I will do? So the solution is user defined functions. That user defined functions is available in Matlab. Matlab provides that user defined functions. That means we can define this function, we can define this z function as our wish. We can define this function, and then we can use that function, we can call that function at every 10th line in my project, right? At every 10th line in my project. Okay, so that is about the need of user defined functions. First of all, it is the user defined function. What is the need? Why? What is the need of user defined function? Means this is the concept of user defined functions, right? So that is about the need of user defined functions. Okay, so now we will discuss about how we define a function in Matlab. Okay, actually the built-in functions or predefined functions is already defined by the designer of Matlab software. Okay, who designs the MATLAB software? That designer is defined when he designs the MATLAB software. He defines the total built-in functions, and he stored in that MATLAB software the total built-in functions. Right? He defined, but now user-defined functions we have to define. Right? So now, how to define this a function in MATLAB? Right? So first, see the syntax to define a function in MATLAB. See syntax to define a function in MATLAB. Right? The syntax. The syntax is see. First you have to write function, okay, to open square brackets. Here you have to write output variables, okay, equal to, here you have to write function name. Here you have to open this braces, okay. Here is the square brackets, and here you have to write open the brackets, okay. Here function name, you have to write function name. Here this is function name as your wish, okay. Here this is function name as your wish. This is function name. But here this function, here this function is a syntax. You have to write this function as usual. You have to write the function word like this. Here this is a capital, not the capital. This is a small. But here in this word it comes automatically, right? Okay. So function square brackets output variables is equal to, how to write the function name as your wish, and here open the bracket, and here input variables. Right? So this is the syntax of a function definition in MATLAB. To define a function, this is the syntax. So now see for example, right? For example, okay, just now write z is equal to, okay, x plus 3y. A simple function, okay. This is a function. Z is equal to x plus 3y. So this is a function. In this function, what are the output variables? Tell me, output variables. What are the output variables? Output variables is z, only one output variable, right? Okay. And next, input variables. What are the input variables? Right? X, comma, y. These are the input variables. Okay. So now we define the function. We know the syntax, right? So now define the function. So to define, so first we have to write the function square brackets. What are the output variables? Z, right? Is equal to function name as your wish. Function name means your wish. Okay, whatever function name you want to give, that function name you can give, right? Okay, but here one more point you have to observe means, while you are giving the function name, you are writing the function name, that function name should not equal to the built-in function name in MATLAB, right? So for example, sqrt, you cannot write the sqrt here. Why? Because sqrt is a built-in function, right? Predefined function available in MATLAB, so you cannot write, okay? Or otherwise exp, this is also built-in function, you cannot write. Or otherwise log, this is also built-in function, you cannot write, okay? So you cannot write the function names which are already available in MATLAB, which are predefined in MATLAB, right? So you write only which are not defined, which are not the built-in functions in MATLAB. So you may raise a question or you may raise a doubt, so there are so many built-in functions are available in MATLAB, then how I know, that means this particular function is available in MATLAB or not? How I know? What is the answer? How I know, sir? That means there is a answer, there is a function in MATLAB exist. See, there is a function in MATLAB exist, function is there, exist, exist function is there, right? By using this exist function, we can know this particular function is available in MATLAB or not. There is a function exist, right? Okay, so we will discuss about this. This is a small 1 or 2 lines, okay? There is a function exist function, so by using that exist function, okay, you can that means you can know that particular function is available or not. So for example, so see here, open the MATLAB, first we check. Right, think exist sqrt. See here, right? There is a exist function. For example, sqrt is already predefined in MATLAB. So if we write exist the sqrt, then it will give the answer is 5. This is a fix, okay? This is how we know the particular function is available in MATLAB or not, right? For example, exist, okay, log, see, exist exp, see, exist exp, right? So here in previous exist exo, just mistakenly I typed the exo, but so see here the answer is 0. That means that exo, see, that exo function is not there in MATLAB, so the answer is 0, okay? So for example, exist ece, see, answer is 0. Exist gist, see, the answer is 0, okay? You understand? So by using this exist function, you can know the particular function is available in MATLAB or not. That particular function is available or built in MATLAB, then it will give the answer is 5. Just you type that exist, that particular function in command window, then you can know. If the function is already exist, then the answer is 5. If the function is not exist, the answer is 0. That's all. So by using this exist function, you can know the particular function is available in MATLAB or not, right? Okay, coming as usual flow, right? So function, open square brackets, and jet, that is equal to function name, right? So function name, so for example ECE, right? ECE, open this bracket, input variables, right? To the input variables x comma y, right? So this is the statement. This is how to define a function in MATLAB, right? So this is just how to define the function. You have to write the function as usual. Open the square bracket, z is equal to function name ECE in the bracket x comma y, input variables. Understand, right? So this is a function. So for example, see the another function. For example, f is equal to s minus 2 r minus 2r plus 3t into 4d, right? So this is a function. Okay, so now what are the output variables for that function? Output variables. Okay, what are the output variables? F. Okay, next input. What are the input variables? What are the input variables? Right, S, R, T, D, right? So these are the input variables. Okay, so now we have to define. How to define that function is, so first function square bracket, so here this is a small f, not the capital, right? Function square bracket, output variables. What are the output variables? F. So close the square bracket, is equal to, next function name. Total function we want to wish, for example gist. Open. What are the input variables? S, R, T, D, right? So these are the input variables. So this is how to define. Okay, so this is how to define a function in MATLAB, right? So whatever the functions are there, for example, you will see on the type of functions. For example, if another type of examples, if a function has two output variables, maybe or some function that has two output variables. So see here, some a is equal to, okay, pi r. Understand what I write? So a is equal to pi r square, that is the area of circle. Next, c is equal to 2 pi r. Okay, so here in this, that is area, is area, and that means another one is circumference, 2 pi r. So see, this function we can define as, so here output variables, is equal to, what are the output variables? A comma C, right? And next, input variables. What are the input variables? So here you can write what are the input variables. What are the input variable? Right, R only. Okay, so the pi is constant, right? Okay, so this function we can define as C function right, square bracket to the output variables A comma C. You can write like this, A comma C brackets is equal to, so circle. You can know circle is already predefined or not by using exact function, right? So circle of, what are the input variable? R. This is a, that's all you can define. So like this, that has two output variables, one input variable. Okay, you can write like this, function comma C circle of R. Okay, so this is a function. So this is how to define function in MATLAB, right? So by using the function keyword you have to write, and here function name, and this is input variables, and this is a place of output variables, right? So this is about the user defined functions in MATLAB, how to define a function in MATLAB, right? This is the syntax, and these are the some examples. Okay, right? So we go through this video, we will discuss in the next, continue in next video, next class, right? Okay, thank you.